Hi again, Shannon. So we're still on level 7. I'm about to take everybody inside the louver that's been removed, and you're going to see the bell hoisted up here off of the floor so that the guys can get at this floor, get new 3/4 plywood down, new undersheeting underneath that 3/4 ply, and then get our fabulous piece of membrane installed in here and make this waterproof so we can continue the work above us. We have to have all this in place before we can actually open up the spire. Otherwise, we're going to have more water than ever coming down inside the church. So let's just take a peek inside, Shannon. So everybody heard me talk about size of bells. So as a comparison, you can look back on some of the videos from last year of St. Mary's in Camelford. And the bell at St. Mary's in Camelford, you'll see me in a couple of the shots, literally was about this tall in comparison to, if I'm comparing those bell sizes. The significance of Camelford is it was much broader, okay? Weight was around 6,000 pounds, and we were able to determine that because our crane operator actually has a device with inside his crane to tell him how much he's actually lifting. Safety measures, here we go again, which are important. Not to say that this isn't a big bell as bells go. Let me get this line out of my face, thank you. Not to say this isn't a big bell as bells go, because it is a big bell. It's just not as big as some of them I've seen. It's probably in about the top 20 in size out of probably 400 or 500 bells I've seen in churches. So it's a good size. Makes a nice sound. I have heard it sound. So anyway, the boys have suspended it off. It's a pretty heavy structure, okay? We put in 4 2x12s, all sistered together, and they've been inserted inside the brick walls, and then another header beam over top of them, and we have a safety strapped off and whatnot, so it's well supported. One of the things in here, though, that you saw outside was these rotten beams I was talking about, directly on the other side where Terry and Jim are. You hear them talking in the background. That very rotted out 9x9 timber frame. It came out of this area right here, okay, where this new plywood is now sitting. This is what it started out like in its lifetime. Here's one from the opposite corner. And you can see how much better shape this one's in, simply because this was the high side of the tower floor. The original drain hole for this floor sat behind the bell, and it was just a small hole in the floor, and it took the water inside the church. And that's an important point to remember. We don't want to take water inside these buildings. We want it to get out. So the boys are constructing a floor now that is going to have the water exit out into the saddle area that we were just talking about earlier, one level below. It'll have a nice tongue that actually forces it out there so it does not run down the brick. Very much like what St. Mary's in Camelford got. Very effective, very effective. The interesting thing is we're not going to see the amount of water in here ever again, because we're going to make an adjustment to our louvers here to stop so much driving snow and driving rain from getting in here. So we're going to minimize that. The real thing that we need, though, why we need such a good membrane is because if we ever have a leak above again, it's not so much what's coming through our louvers, it's what's coming from above. So we'll be back again in a week. We'll see how the guys are making out. But keep in mind, folks, how bad some of this timber had gotten inside this poor bell floor level, simply due to continual moisture leaks and no airflow in here. These louvers, when we had arrived, were totally enclosed, covered over solid. There was no airflow whatsoever inside here. I'm very grateful. I want to point out something here before we do leave. I made one phone call. We were in a panic because we'd run out of electricians to find. My good friend Alvin Jones had retired. Ken Layton from Layton Electric in Trenton came within 2 days and installed this huge electrical system in place for us and brought it up here to the bell level and another level above. And I can't thank the gentleman that came, Dennis, and Connor, I believe, was his assistant, and they've gotten us some power up here. It's really handy now. As everybody knows, all these old buildings never have hydro where you need them. So really grateful those guys were able to help us out in such a big hurry. So Anyway, we'll move on to another level. Thank you very much, guys.